Alright, happy Memorial Day, YouTube. Sorry I haven't been able to keep you updated on day 4 and 5 of the Casey Anthony trial, so that's what I'm going to do now. Let's get this updated going. So, on day 4, on 5/27/2011, the state calls Mallory Parker. Mallory Parker is Lee Anthony's girlfriend at the time, I guess, and now fiance. Like I said, she's engaged to Lee. They met in late 2006. Found out in early July 2008 that Casey was not at him. I'm not sure what I meant there. I'm sorry. Text message a day or two before 7/4/08 to see where she was. On 7/3/2011, went to a club to try and find Casey. This was her and Lee that did this. Texted Casey again, asked if she was downtown. Casey told her she didn't want the family to worry. She needed space. She asked if Casey was coming to a family 4th of July get-together and bring Kaylee. Casey said she would try. At this point, Casey keeps eyeing around the room and looking at Mallory and going back and forth around the courtroom. The defense cross-examination said Casey and Kaylee had a very special bond, and Mallory started crying. Described the relationship between Casey and Kaylee as amazing. The state called William Waters. He first met Casey on July 4, 2008 at a party. Knows Amy and met Casey through Amy, and he works with Amy Huizenga. He knew that Casey had a child, and by Casey telling him. They show a picture of Amy with Casey in the background with one of those red cups, like party cups. And I think this was 4th of July, if I remember correctly. On 7/5/08, Casey went over to William Waters. Casey had Amy's car because hers needed a tune-up or an alignment, she told him. Her and a friend of hers wanted to get a live-in nanny. She told this story about her and another friend, whoever that was. She did not specify to him that they wanted to get a live-in nanny in a place together, and this was supposed to be in the next couple of months, and they said it would be cheaper to do so. She told him she works at Universal as an event coordinator and loved her job. Never saw Casey again after 7/5/2008. Got a phone call from a police officer, and that's when he found out all this was going on. Defense cross, no information. Again, here goes Jose Baez with, do you know how she died? Do you know how she drowned? And then state redirect. He has no reason to believe anything any different about what Casey told him. Then the state starts showing videos at this time, and this is of the videos when she was at JCPenney's twice, IKEA, Target 4 times, Winn-Dixie, Bank of America, Blockbuster, and the Target ones, I think, especially the ones with the checks of Amy Huizenga. State witness Catherine Sanchez. She is the district manager for Amscot, and they discussed. She discussed the car and calling whoever she needed to call to get permission to have it towed, and so forth and so on. The defense cross, really nothing. This witness really didn't have a whole lot to say, just to basically establish a timeline with the car. I think that was the state redirected, the defense recrossed. The state witness called Simon Birch. He used to work for Johnson's Records. He was the one that went to the car with George and all that good stuff. He talked about the security of the property, how the property has really great security, double fencing, all that stuff. He had to go check the vehicle out because he said when they get a vehicle, they have to basically do inventory of the vehicle, and because in case that somebody doesn't claim it, because they have to determine whether it's going to be crushed or they could sell it to recoup their money. So when he put his hand up against the glass to shield the sun to look inside the car, he noticed a strong smell, and the car was towed on 6/30/08. Has seen a vehicle where there was a dead body, had been a dead body in it. He smelled trash and garbage as well because he used to be a trash person for about a couple years. The rest of the time he had worked in some kind of towing business. His experience, he said, said decomposition has a distinct smell from trash. The smell from Casey's car, the smell was of decomp smell. And as this is going on, again, no emotion from Casey. Cindy he says that Cindy was agitated, asking why was it expensive and why so long to get the letter. He explained by the dates and weekends of the 4th of July holiday and the Anthony's out of town, they needed to sign, because they needed to sign for letter. So that's probably why, it took a little longer than normal. They went to lunch recess, and then he says he went to the vehicle with George Anthony. George Anthony was apologized for Cindy's outburst, that they were under a lot of stress, and that they hadn't seen Kaylee. George told them that him and Cindy would probably get a divorce over it. George opened the door. The smell came out and was very potent. The smell, he thought to himself that it was decomp, because he had smelled it before, and it was a smell you never forget in a deceased human being. George tried to start the car. It would not start. Gas gauge was on E. George went to go to get can of gas, old metal round one, well worn, didn't see if he had any tape on it. He suggests that George open the trunk. Both standing behind the trunk, flies flew out, and the smell was even worse. They looked inside the garbage bag, and it was white. There was a pizza box and papers. Was very light, he said. Regular household items in it. The defense cross-examined Simon Birch. He says didn't know it was a piece of evidence until after the company he works for towed the car from the Anthony's to forensic. Now, Baez was, really merciless on this man, saying, well, if you knew it was evidence and this smell, why didn't you call the police and this, that, and the next thing? And he's like, I didn't know what was going on, How was he supposed to know? Which I kind of may have agreed a little bit. Maybe he should have notified the police, especially with that smell. Look, somebody just took the car out of here. It's going to such and such address. But, that's besides the point. He talked to police on 7/24/08. Talked about how a lot of the business for Johnson's come from Orange County Police. I understand where Baez was going for that. He was trying to say that just because they got a lot of business, that's the reason why they're saying it smelled like decomposition. Well, first of all, the guy doesn't even work for him anymore. State reject. The smell did not appear to foul the bag. Defense recall said the letter they sent notifying about the car had a return address on it. I see where Baez is trying to go with that. He was trying to say that just because it had a return address, that somebody, George, went to place something in there that smelled like decomposition. Right, Baez, right. Okay, state witness calls George Anthony for the third time. He was taken aback by the letter from the tow company because car was supposed to be with Casey in Jacksonville. Again, no emotions from Casey, very stone cold face. Just crossing off my notes here if I can get my pen to work. Okay, talked to Cindy when he went to the tow yard. George was thinking what he was thinking. He said that he was wondering why the tow company didn't call sooner, or why didn't Casey call him. He brought a gas can with him. It was a common thing to bring a gas can. He said from past experiences, from friends who had to pick up their car. The first time he smelt the odor, he was concerned. He did not want to believe what he was smelling. Looked at the car to see if it had any damage, rolled down the passenger window. Before he opened the trunk, he said to himself, please don't let this be Casey or Kaylee, or Kaylee. He said he did not touch the bag or pick up the bag that was in the trunk. Noticed a subtle stain on the spare tire cover. Car was messy inside. George went to work after he brought the car home because he had just started his new job. Cindy told him she was going to try and get a hold of Casey. At this point, Casey was talking to Baez, and he seems to be very... Oh, they went to recess. So as they're going to recess, Casey starts talking to Baez, and Baez kind of seemed to get frustrated with her and like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know, kind of look on his face. They come back from recess. The defense crosses George Anthony. Letter from tow yard was found on Anthony's door on 7/13/08. Cindy found the notice on the front door. Now, he's like, well, you didn't use the front door between 7/6/08 and 7/13/08? He said, no, I did not use the front door. Baez was trying to tell him, oh, you used to be a police officer, so you knew not to touch anything. You knew not to connect yourself with any kind of evidence. Because George generally gets the mail. Past experience told him to take a gas can. When he got in Casey's car, he smelled the smell of decomp. George was not trying to distance himself from anything. Didn't think the car was as evidence at the time. State redirect. Does not know when the letter was placed on the front door because Baez is like, well, how do you not know? You're home between such and such time. And he's like, well, the mail could come at any time. It's not a set time. Then the state witness calls Anthony Nazaro for a second time, and that was the end of day 4. That's where we ended. For whatever reasons was going on. So this was day 4. Watch my next video, will be the beginning of day 5.